Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 80 of Brat Said That. I'm your host, Brat Jackson, along with my co-producer, Chad LGBT. Hope everybody had a great week. It's been since last Monday we've had a show, and I've been trying to pump these things out twice a week, but that is mostly my work schedule and my social schedule. But we are back today, Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's just loving life. I don't know, more of an intro to do because we got so much to talk about. We got so much wrestling to talk about, so much MMA to talk about. We got to give out the Bratwurst Award. We got to just talk about maybe even having a first sponsor. Yes, Brat Said That might even have their first sponsor partnership. But listen, we're going to talk about everything, okay? We're going to jump right into it. Going to jump into the squared circle. We got to talk about this because obviously it's a big moment. We're not going to talk about Raw. We're not going to talk about SmackDown. We're not going to talk about all these bedazzled things all over the household because Babe's got a new project and I love it. But we're going to talk about Zilla Fatu debuting in NXT. Yes, Zilla Fatu, another member of that long line of the bloodline. He debuted NXT. Perfect. I honestly, when I was thinking, we all knew Zilla was going to, come into WWE eventually. The son of the late great Umaga, the cousins of the Usos, the nephews of Roman. I was like, okay, just put him on the bloodline, SmackDown and Raw. But putting him on NXT, didn't think about that. That is perfect. Perfect for Zilla. Get his name out there. He's still, even though he is part of the bloodline, he's still kind of newish in the world of wrestling. I think he's going to be wrestling for 3 to 4 years, which is still new to get to that spot of NXT. But yeah, he's doing great things so far, and I think NXT is a great place for Zilla. I did not think of that at all. I was like, yeah, make him another Jacob or make him another Solo. But nope, he's in NXT, and he's going for the NXT Championship. Perfect. I love that new the upper echelon of the NXT title scene. You got Tony D'Angelo, who I'm a big fan of. Glad he's champion. You had Evil. I don't remember his NXT name right off the top of my head. Naruku. You got Mike Santana, who's now going by another name. I don't have it off the top of my head. I should be more prepared. I had a week to do this, but that Grayson Waller, he's still begging. Not begging. He's still chatting about being NXT champion. So, yeah, putting Zilla in the mix, great for Zilla, great for the bloodline. You got the bloodline on Raw. You got the bloodline on SmackDown. You got the bloodline on NXT. You got the bloodline on the Indies. It is a good time for the bloodline. Thank you, babe. Heart, heart, heart. We were just talking about your little beads over here. Put a little on my glasses right there, But, yeah, Zilla is great. But let's talk about Raw. Let's talk about SmackDown. We're going to talk about SmackDown first, obviously, and then we're going to talk about Raw last night. But wow, oh wow, were we scared for Chelsea Green? It looked like she was going to get her title taken away from Nick Aldis. But Chelsea was like, listen, Nick, I fought tooth and nail for years to get to this point. You and nobody is going to take this title away from me. And Nick Aldis is like, you're right. You got 30. This hat is actually really tight. I need another hat. Jesus Christ, my brain is just squishing. But Nick Aldis said you got 30 days to defend it before it's relinquished, which isn't fair because on the other side, Liv Morgan went 100 days without relinquishing, and she was healthy. But Chelsea, who's still, even if she has a broken orbital that's in the eye, she still is a fighting champion. Then Gunther came out. He was like, enough of this. Okay, let's talk about something that's important. My title shot. And then Chelsea's like, Gunther, shut up. And Gunther's like, well, what you gonna do about it? Then, whoa. Matt Cardona comes out, confronts Gunther. Finally, I think this is the first time we've seen Cardona and Chelsea as like, this is your husband. This is my wife. We're a team, which I love. And then they're like, well, we're both in jeans. We're going to fight right now. Gunther made Matt submit very quickly. But still, defend your wife, okay? That's a true man. That's what Long Island men do. Defend their wives. or cheat on them with teenagers, and then then the wife gets shot in the face. We talked about that a while ago. But after that, we did have Tiffany Stratton come out, help Chelsea Green, because the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, came out, beat down both Tiffany, and kind of scared Chelsea away because Chelsea can't get physical. But then Baron Corbin, there's only one Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin defeated Carmelo Hayes in the United States Championship match, retained the championship match in his hometown, that is Carmelo Hayes. Then Trick Williams comes out, is like, hey, we ain't done yet. I still got Little Yachty over here. So it's going to be Corbin, Trick, and Corbin, Trick, and Carmelo. In the future, like I said, every single show, the United States Championship is in good hands. CM Punk then came out. Oh, my Lord. And Kevin Owens went at it. CM Punk said, you're fat. Kevin Owens like, nobody likes you. It was like a high school confrontation. They're going to have their WWE Championship match in Toronto next week. This coming up Friday. I'm looking so forward to that. I think Punk retains. I think what we're going to do is Money in the Bank. Owens finally gets that. Sammy wins the Money in the Bank, cashes in on Owens. But things can definitely, obviously, not go the way I think it. I don't have a direct line to Triple H yet. But that's going to be a great match. That's just a dream match you want to see. You want to see Punk, you want to see Owens, and you want to see them right now before they eventually retire, which the end is closer to the beginning. They talk about their indie days and stuff. They talk about, growing up and Punk kind of pushing Owens around. But that's going to be great. We also have new tag team champions. Yes, the MFTs defeated Damian Priest and R-Truth and the War Raiders to capture the WWE Tag Team Championship. I don't know if it's the second time holding it, the third time, but they got Haku now, which is cool. I was watching the 2001 Royal Rumble. Haku came out number 28 with his hair and stuff. So it's good to see. I love seeing old legends coming back, and helping out his, I don't know if his adopted son or whatever, but they're the new tag team champions. What do you say for Damian Priest? What do you say for R-Truth? I like that team, even when they were in the Judgment Day, kind of going at it. I'm sure we're going to see them go a couple more tag team titles or whatever. I don't know. That division on SmackDown isn't the greatest. And we do have a new United States Women's Champion. JC Jane, the Fatal Influence, they have all the gold. They have all the gold with... Now that JC Jane defeated Tiffany Stratton, she is the United States Women's Champion, and Fatal Influence is the World Women's Tag Team Champions. So good for them, making a name for themselves for sure. And then it was supposed to be Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn, and then out comes... No, it was supposed to be Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn. Then out comes Randy Orton. Those two battled and beat each other up, and now we're going to have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at Sunday's night main event, which is going to be great in Atlanta, which is Cody's hometown. I can't wait for this. I want to see something different than the WrestleMania match. I want to see more hatred, more, At WrestleMania, it was more like they had their legacy together. Who's going to be who? Is it Cody's time? Is he, he said... I think he said, now that all the legends are dead, who's going to kill the legend killer? Which is going to be Cody Rhodes. Even Bubba agrees with me. But that was SmackDown. We're going to talk about Raw. I didn't get to watch Raw because I was doing a thing called work. Hello, Bubba. Welcome in. Thank you for barking at the people next door. That might not be... Listen, okay? Come here. The people across from us in our complex, they have not been seen in days. They got like 3 big gallons or... the water, they have the water is just sitting there, and it has not moved in like 6 or 7 days. And me and Babe were coming up with theories. I want to go over there and just knock on the door and say, hello, is anybody alive? But the lights aren't on, and the 3, what do you call those, gallons of water, the jugs of water, they're just sitting there. Very mysterious. So my Hawaii neighbors, hopefully they're okay. But let's talk about Raw. Becky Lynch, Stephanie Mesker, they're kind of helping each other out. Their true goal is taking that title off of Liv, but she's got the Judgment Day with her still. So that's going to be going on forever. By the way, excuse me when I say this, Stephanie Mesker, that's all I'm going to say. JD McDonough got defeated by Javon Evans. Big Cass once again comes out, beats up Javon. This should lead to a match between them two. This is the third week in a row ever since Big Cass returned that he's just beating up smaller wrestlers, and Javon Evans has taken the wrath of Big Cass for the last few weeks. So let's get, Big Cass versus Javon Evans. Rey Fenix defeated Elvis Cal in a number one contenders tournament. You remember that Roman Reigns' world championship match against whoever wins this tournament. It's going to come down to Rey Fenix, and Penta is going to win. But Rey Fenix moved on. Elvis Cal made his Raw, debut. His dad was another wrestler from the Abismo some word. I don't remember. But, yeah, that's good. I'm looking forward to these cruiserweights or the luchadors on Raw. So Roca defeated Crazy Bird Lady, Layla Valkyria. That's going to be kind of the middle card of the women's division going on with those two. Paul Heyman came out. A match between Alba Femi and Braun Breaker at Sunday night's main event. By the way, Braun Breaker, Alba Femi. The Alba, what do you call that word? Impersonating Braun Breaker was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. But yes, that's going to be a future WrestleMania main event. This is their first time going one-on-one, I believe. I don't know if they went on NXT. I think Alba was after Braun left NXT. But what a match that's going to be. Sunday night's main event. Braun versus Alba. We're going to talk about Sunday night's main event. I think it's next Sunday. Not this Sunday coming up, but next Sunday. Dragon Lee defeated El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. That's a long name. If he's the son of Dr. Wagner Jr., why don't he just go like Dr. Wagner III? But Dragon Lee won that match. He's moving on to the, whoever faces Roman Reigns in Mexico City. And it won of a dream match that, I don't want to say past because Rey Mysterio is still doing it as good as he's doing it. Chad Gable did defeat Rey Mysterio in an Intercontinental title match. I literally thought this was going to be at Triple Mania next month, but hey, let's put all the good shit on free TV. But what a match of those after eating 2 619s, which is a 12-18. Chad Gable roared back, reversed Rey Mysterio's pin attempt, and grabbed a quick pinfall. See, you don't have Rey tap out. Pinfall, title defense, good. After losing Jey Uso last week, we all know Solo Sikoa came out with the Bloodline, and he is now officially member of the Bloodline once again. He acknowledged Roman Reigns, and they lived happily ever after. That's not what happened. Solo spiked Roman, turned his back on the Bloodline, sided with LA Knight. So, Solo Sikoa with the surprise attack on the OTC. That's going to be great. Solo is moving up the ranks. I can see him versus Roman for the title in the future. I don't think he'll win it, but he'll look damn good with the World Heavyweight Championship. But yes, Solo turned his back on the Bloodline, on his family, rightfully so. And yeah, it was Raw. It was good. Didn't get to see much, but we read the results. We read what happened. SmackDown Raw. We talked about Zilla Fatu. AEW was in Vegas a couple weeks ago. Didn't really do well. I heard from a lot of people there. I wasn't going to go unless I got free tickets, and I'd rather just not go to AEW shows anymore. They're, whatever. AEW is in Vegas. Cool. Congrats. One team that I'm glad is in AEW is the Motor City Machine Guns. They're from Michigan. I love the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Chris Sabin, too. So seeing them kind of get to another company, show how great they are. Hopefully, they can move up the ranks, unlike they did. Yes, they won the WWE Tag Team Championship, but I want to see them be the face of the company. They are getting a little bit older there. in age, but one team, though, we are speculating to see in AEW in a few weeks. New Day. Yes, not Kofi Kingston anymore. He is going by his name. It's a long name, but KSM for short. Austin Creed, we all know, was Xavier Woods. There is no confirmed AEW signing, but come on. Swerve Strickland need to find a tag team at All Out. Who's it going to be? It's going to be the New Day. Let's look at All Out. I mean, it is like one of their biggest shows, so of course I'll watch it. I just Googled Google. You ever do that? You ever Google AEW All Out or All In? Why do you have so many shows with the same title? No, that's one's in September. I want All In. August 30th, let's see. Maybe that's not for All Out. Maybe that, I don't know. So, for All In, we're going to talk about All In. Willow Nightingale, one of my personal favorites, versus Mercedes Moné, one of my not personal favorites, for the AEW Women's World Championship. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Ospreay is winning it. Let's be honest. They're in England, Wembley. It's Ospreay's time. Edge and Christian versus Cousins Nick and Matt. That's going to be a great match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Andrade El Udalo versus MJF versus Tommaso Ciampa versus TBA for the Men's Casino Gauntlet match. I really hope MJF does not win it because he's won it the last 700 times. He's won it All Out. He's won it All In. And then it's just enough, you don't got to give it to MJF all the time. Continental Challenge Cup. Okay, we can look at that. There is a Continental Challenge Cup going on. Let's look at the bracket. Maybe. Why do you have a tournament when you already have a champion? I don't. I can't. John Moxley is a reigning champion. However, he loses the title if he's eliminated from the tournament. I don't see the tournament here listed, so. Divine Dominion, Lena Cross and Megan Bain versus Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter. Alex Windsor's from England too, so she's probably going to win the World Tag Team Championship with Jamie Hayter. Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin. Falls Count Anywhere match. Any stipulation with Darby, he's going to take it up to a 20. So that's going to be fun. Kyle Fletcher versus Kushida versus Okada. Wow, that's going to be a fantastic match. AEW International Championship. And All Out, I don't know. I thought there was going to be a match between Swerve Strickland and whoever. Swerve Strickland tag team? Question mark? Let's see. No, I don't really know. Yeah, it's Swerve Strickland, the New Day. Swerve Strickland, the New Day. For upcoming pay-per-view. Was it announced, though? Is it like... Let's see. Swerve Strickland interrupted the AEW's Trios Champions of Hangman Adam Page, Bandito, and Brody King. Okay, so it's for the Trios. That makes sense, yeah. New Days coming to AEW, so let's look forward to that. TNA is having their Lockdown pay-per-view. If you don't know what a Lockdown pay-per-view is, it's when every single match is inside a steel cage. Okay, good. I like cage matches. This is actually coming up more recent, August 23rd, so that's in just a couple days. That match, we got the Hardys versus Nemeth, Nick, and Ryan for the Tag Team Championship inside a steel cage. Demon Buddy, Rosemary, and Alley versus Elegance, Heather by Elegance and M by Elegance for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship inside a steel cage. AJ Francis versus Elijah inside a steel cage. Jason Hodge versus Mustafa Ali for the TNA International Championship inside a steel cage. Frankie Kazarian versus Moose escape the cage, where they have to escape from inside a steel cage. Cedric Alexander versus Leon Slater. Now, let me talk about this one. Obviously, it's for the X Division Championship inside a steel cage. But if Slater loses, his previous title reign will be erased from history. Now, dummy, that's not how things work. Okay? You don't just go back and erase things. Trust me. If I had a time machine, I would do a lot of that. But I don't like this whole stipulation. It's dumb. It's more. It's pointless. they were talking about, like, oh, if Leon Slater, who's tied for being the longest reigning X Division champion, if he loses, then his title reign doesn't matter. So Austin Aries is now the sole owner, and Amazing Red has the most. Yada yada. Stupid, dumb. Move on. The system, not the Simpsons. The system. Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, Baron Bronson, and Alicia Edwards versus Ricky Sosa, Bang Bang, Sosa, Fabian Eichner, Casey Navarro, and Jada Stone. Lethal Lockdown match inside a steel cage. And TNA Knockouts World Championship, Xia Brookside defends against Elena Black inside a steel cage. So, I've been joking that inside the steel cage, yada yada, but I like those matches. I do. I like cage matches. There's some stipulations here, like Lethal Lockdown, Escape the Cage, a lot of titles up for grabs. So we're going to talk about those results coming up in next show or the next week, because next show's Friday. This doesn't happen until Saturday, right? Sunday. I miss a good Sunday pay-per-view. Go watch a pay-per-view on Sunday, then talk about it on the bus going to school. But let's talk about MMA. We had a huge fight just this past Saturday. UFC 330, Makhachev versus Machado. Gary, hold on, I'm going to take a sip of drink. Still, your UFC welterweight champion Islam Makhachev defeated Ian Gary by unanimous decision. Gary put up a fight. I take back everything I said about Gary. Even though it's 49-46, 48-47, Gary's still, the bigger guy. He didn't let Makhachev beat him as much as he could. So, still your champion. What's next for Islam? What's next for Gary? I think Carlos Prates is the next in line. Ian Gary, well, obviously he's young. He'll get himself back in that contendership and maybe a title shot again down the line. Mackenzie Dern retained the Women's Strawweight Championship against Jillian Robinson with a win, a unanimous decision, 49-46 times 2, 48-47. Excuse me. Yeah. Good win for Dern. But Jillian Robinson, you are a champion in my eyes. You went on, you fought for the title, you might have lost, but Dean Thomas, yes, Dean Thomas, at the post-show press conference, made a fool of himself. He was on the post-show conference and he made he said, I am done. I am done cornering fighters after that Jillian Robinson performance. You're never going to see me corner any other fighters. I try to take her to the end of her peak and how much she could have been champion. She failed. Obviously, he didn't say all that, but he did say that. So, let's listen to it. Let's actually listen to his words. Ready? I'm going to play this. This is Dean Thomas's words, okay?
I think that might be as far as she could go, and I am officially retiring from cornering fighters tonight.
Wow.
Yes.
You're doing the Matt Serra.
I'm doing the Matt Serra. I am no longer cornering fighters.
Can we
no
not
fighters
decide
at all?
the night of? Maybe you need
no,
time to
because
sit on this?
I've been sitting on that, and I'm telling you now that that's what I'm doing. That's breaking news.
Why?
It's just, I told myself that I would do this with her. I would see her journey out and take her as far as I think she can go. And this might be as far as she can go.
Dean Thomas, Mr. 4 wins, 5 losses in the UFC. After 3 stints in the UFC, never had a fought for a championship in his lustrous career. Put down Julian Robinson. Now, I know when you just lost like that and you're cornerman, you're kind of going through some stuff. Wrong place, wrong time. Okay? Julian Robinson is still young. Okay? She went 5 fights to get this championship shot. She'll only probably need 2 or 3 in the strawweight division for another title shot. Say we got Zhang Weili or whoever gets Dern next, wins. Julian Robinson probably needs 2 or 3 fights to move on and you're going to stop cornering her because she lost, and then you say it like that, like on a platform, like after the UFC literally just happened, you probably still got sweat in your ears. But all I can say is, Dean Thomas, I love you on looking for a fight. That Bratwurst Award right there. You know, your fighter might have lost this fight, but you won the Bratwurst Award. What not a good way to say something, okay? Let's look at your UFC record, shall you? 2001, you made your UFC debut. You lost to BJ Penn by KO. Okay, prime BJ, I understand. UFC 333, you lost to Fabiano. Oh, you won. You won by decision. You left UFC. Came back UFC 39. Second stint. Well, I mean, back in the 2001s, you know, UFC wasn't like you only fight the UFC. You can still fight UFC and then go do other things. You lost to Kyle Uno. Barely beat Matt Serra. Okay. Went on the Ultimate Fighter. How'd you do on the Ultimate Fighter? Let's see. Let's see. You defeated Mikey Burnett, who didn't fight since 1997. And you lost to Chris Lytle by decision. And then, let's see. You came back, UFC Fighter 4 finale. Defeated Rich Clemente, Clay Guida, and Jeremy Stevens. And then you got choked out by Kenny Florian and Josh Neer. What did you do in your title shot? Let's see. You never fought for a title in UFC. You know, I'm not trying to pick on you because you brought this on yourself. Not a good time or place to say that about Jillian Robertson. I don't know, maybe it's just because I have a thing for redheads, but not cool, Dean Thomas. Bratwurst Award, congrats. But let's talk about the goods. Jalen Turner with a knockout 39 seconds in against Fernandez. Dustin Stolfus defeated Mansour Abdul Malik by submission, rear naked choke. And then we had to say goodbye to an absolute legend. Edson Barboza loses against Esteban Ribovicic in the second round. Edson Barboza, what a fighter he is. Excuse me. He's made his debut all the way back to 2010. That amazing win against Terry Edom. Everybody talks about the spinning wheel kick. He's fought everybody in the... Look at this. Look at this. This is a fighter, okay? Let's see. He lost to Cerrone in 2014. Then he lost to Tony... Okay, ever since he lost to Tony Ferguson, okay? He defeated Anthony Pettis, Gilbert Melendez, Benil Dariush, lost to Khabib, okay? Lost to Gaethje and Felder, and went down to featherweight, came back. But the prime Edson Barboza, like, I'm not even talking about the guys who beat, like, Evan Dunham, Bobby King Green. Like, what a fighter that guy was. So, I know he has some records. Let's see the records he holds. Let's see, fight of the night, 10-time fight of the night. Tied with Dustin Poirier for second most. Performance of the night 2 times. Knockout of the night. Knockout of the year, to be honest, okay? Tied with Melvin Gillard and Justin Gaethje for third most knockouts in UFC lightweight division. Fourth most knockdowns in UFC history. Has won UFC.com awards, UFC honors. The knockout of the year, Terry Edom won every single knockout of the year. If Brat Said That year-end award show was around 2010, he would have got knockout of the year. Fight Magazine gave him 2012 knockout of the year. I wish that was still around because that was an amazing, absolute magazine. Where do my magazines go? I love magazines. But the undercard, you know, not too crazy. Trishan Gore defeated Vicente Luque. He's making a name for himself. Noel Magny with another win for his lengthy UFC run. Jalen Turner, Justin Stolfus, Charles Johnson, and Jeremiah Wills all won performance of the night. So, good for them. Good for them. With this title victory, though, Islam Makhachev surpasses former UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva record of 16 consecutive UFC fights. The record was held by Silva for nearly 14 years as a 16-fight streak ran from 2006 to October 2012. Makhachev records winning began in September 2016. So, good for Islam. I think Islam has surpassed Khabib. There has been a shadow around Islam for a very long time, and it is that Khabib-sized shadow. Rightfully so, because, Khabib, not one of my favorites, but still, I think if he would have still kept fighting and not retire, he would have been like 33-0, 34-0. Might have had a loss here and there. I really want to see the Tony Ferguson fight, but, overall, UFC 330, Philly, good. This weekend we have in Sacramento, Anthony Hernandez, Gregory Rodriguez. We're going to talk more about that fight next show, but we do have to talk about something kind of, I always say kind of sad. Yes, death is sad. Picard Colon died at 33. Now, if you don't know who Picard Colon is, he was a former Puerto Rican prospect, okay? He suffered a brain injury during one of his fights that ended his career in 2015. There's like a video of him weighing in, like kind of like brushing up against the ringside girl. Sorry. He was 16-0 before his final fight. His story became one of the biggest boxing's most infamous examples of the potential consequences of illegal rabbit punches in a fighter's safety. Bad Bunny was among those paying tribute, so I want to pay tribute to him. Man, yeah, his story is sad. Just very sad. Rest in peace to him. And, there is fighter safety. Safety is first, It's all fun and games to knock somebody out, submit somebody, but you gotta just remember this is another human being. They got a life. They might have a family. They might have kids. They might have this or that. You don't want to hurt somebody and end their career. But let's move to some baseball. I want to talk about baseball. The Field of Dreams match happened a couple days ago. If you don't know what the Field of Dreams is, it is a movie, 1989, starring Kevin Costner, James Earl Jones, Ray Liotta. If you build it, they will come. It's about Iowa, but watch the movie. It's not about the movie. It's about the guy builds a baseball field in his backyard. Okay. And ever since 2021, MLB has played a game there once a year. Back in August 2021, the Yankees and the White Sox fought. Absolutely amazing game. White Sox won 9-8. 2022, the Cubs defeated the Reds 4-2. Took a 4-year break. Am I saying this right? Because I feel like this is not right. The Phillies just defeated the Twins. 2026. And then, what is it? Yeah, so I thought I had this prepared. I could have sworn oh, that's right. Okay, yes. I was confused because I was like, I remember watching 2021. I remember watching the White Sox and the Yankees game with my dad. I'm like, but I didn't live in Florida in 2021. But I visited him during this time, so that makes sense. Yeah, August. Okay, now it makes sense. August 12th, 2021, yes, I was in Florida watching it with my dad. White Sox, amazing game, 9-8. Phillies just beat the Twins, 7-1. Next year, the Red Sox are going to face the Kansas City Royals, two of my least favorite teams. But I'll be watching that game. So, yeah, Field of Dreams, really cool idea. The legends come out of the cornfield. It's amazing. And the movie's good, too. The movies are fantastic. The movie is fantastic. Speaking about fantastic places, the All-Star Game is returned to San Francisco in 2 years. I've never been there. I know it's called something else. I know it's AT&T Park, where I grew up loving it. Would love to go there. The view is beautiful. So, yeah, All-Star Game. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Mansfield announced Friday that the 2028 Midsummer Classic will be at Oracle Park. Home of the San Francisco Giants, the 2007 game was played in the picturesque, that's a better word than I use, waterfront baseball field, featuring now Hall of Famer Ichiro Suzuki's famous inside the park home run. So good for them. And good for this man. I'm going to bring him up. If there's a Brat worst, this is a Brat best. Joshua Baez St. Louis rookie, okay, in his major league debut, didn't hit just one home run, didn't hit just 2 home runs, but hit 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats. First baseball player to do that ever. There's been like 6 billion baseball players, but this young kid, Joshua Baez, had the best debut you can ever think of. I hear since then he hasn't done very well, but still, good for them. Wow. But that is baseball. I don't think there's any other baseball news we got to talk about. The standings, we won't look too much at the standings. We'll look at the standings. Why not? We'll take, when the White Sox are in first place, we can look at the standings all we want. By the way, Brat Said That baseball team lost. We're now 10-10. But the Rays would take a 6-game lead against the Yankees in the AL East. The White Sox, the first place, the 65-game winning White Sox, 4.5 games in first place. Tigers and Twins and the Guardians are still behind us. Astros 2 games above in the American League West, but the Rangers and Mariners, Rangers 2 games behind, Mariners 4 games behind. National League, the Braves, the Phillies 6.5 games behind. Brewers taking a commanding lead on the National League Central. Cubs are still kind of going at it, 4.5 games behind. And the West, Dodgers, with the Padres, 8 games in first place, behind first place. But that's, hey, anytime the White Sox are in first place, we're going to talk about it. But speaking about this, football is back. Yes, we had the first week of preseason. We're going to talk all about that. We had the Hall of Fame game. A couple suspensions to talk about. Falcons edge rusher James Pierce Jr. will be suspended by the NFL for 8 games. That's half a season. Due to violating the league personal conduct policy when he was arrested on domestic violence charges in February. Also, somebody close to us, not personally, but the show, his dad follows the show, so I guess he is close. The NFL suspended New Orleans Saints rookie wide receiver Brock Reichschneider, that's Scott Snyder's son, for the first 6 games of 2026 for violating the performance-enhancing substances. Who would ever thought Big Papa Pump's son would be using steroids? But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. One thing though, we're talking about Brat Wurst. The new Buffalo Bills Stadium, Highmark Stadium, the whole thing is pretty much a disaster. Okay, the big problem is the sightings, the sightlines. After more than 50,000 fans attended the Bills' return to the blue and red practice on August 8th, photos and videos circulated showing some seats partially in the 300, 400 levels where the poor people sit, like me, with portions of the field blocked by staircases, railings, glass barriers, and other structures. Fans also complained about small video boards, very steep upper deck chairs, stairs, and limited restroom convenience in highest sections. Well, let's be honest. Nowadays, it's, the sports you see aren't for the fans. It's for the influencers. It's for the richies. It's for the bigwigs. Okay? They don't care about the 300s or the 400s. They want luxurious box seatings where you can eat lobster and caviar and watch the show on your personal iPad. It's not for. Okay. By the way, I watch those shows like the stadium shows or like. How do you feed a stadium full of 50,000 people? You don't need lobster. You don't need all this Gordon Ramsay stuff. You need beer, hot dog, popcorns, and ice cream and a hat. That's all you need. Okay? But, speaking about that, Fernando Mendoza made his debut for the Raiders, yes. And the biggest Brat Said That. Our boy, number 1 pick, played in his first NFL game. Mendoza went 10-16 for 97 yards and a touchdown in a loss, obviously. He showed off some promising stuff, although afterwards Mendoza was extremely critical of himself. It's okay. It happens. And said he didn't meet his own standards. Raiders coach Clint Kubiak was considerably more positive, calling Mendoza an ascending player. He is. He's a future And the Raiders QB situation is interesting because Kirk Cousins also played and led a touchdown drive, including a 13-yard touchdown pass to Michael Mayer. So Mendoza may be the future, but Cousins isn't exactly handing him the job. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with QB battle in Las Vegas, baby. We can look at the other preseason games like we did last year. Always check the Instagram because Chad LGBT makes his picks every Tuesday. Or he makes his picks every Thursday. And then we see how he does on Tuesday. But, we had the Panthers and the Cardinals. They fought week 1, week 2. Bengals over the Lions. Steelers over the Packers. A tie, 13-13. Raiders lost to the Cardinals. Broncos 27-7 win against the Falcons. See, this is not going to be the same teams you're going to see every single, game. These are the up-and-comers. The more we get towards the season, the more starters you'll see. But, week 3, we got Raiders and Texans. They're playing in 2 days. That's going to be fun. And the other game, let's see, we got 49ers next week, August 27th. And then week 1 starts September 9th. So that is just a few weeks away. We're going to talk all about that. We'll talk about our predictions. Raiders going 17-0. No. Patriots Seahawks. Wow, you really needed we just saw that game. Pick another game. I don't like these Super Bowl rematches for the first game of the season. But I don't make the schedule. Speaking about the schedule, the NBA schedule is out. Yes, a lot of games, obviously because it's basketball. The NBA released a full schedule on opening night on October 20th, which is in 2 months. Right? Yeah, I feel like the Knicks just won. The defending champion Knicks raised their banner against LeBron James and the 76ers, while San Antonio hosts Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals, which we're going to see that many, many more times coming up. Christmas Day, though. Holy heck of Spurs and Knicks finals rematch. Heat and Celtics. Now with the Heat, you got Giannis, 76ers, Lakers, LeBron back in Los Angeles, and Nuggets and Warriors. The Sixers and Lakers game means LeBron returns to Los Angeles on Christmas Day. Wow. We need to talk about this too. They did just have the 2026 Hall of Fame enshrinement. We'll talk about the basketball players that got in it. I know Amar'e Stoudemire from Knicks got in it. Let's see what happened. I want to find an easier. Let's see. But yeah, I know they just got in. I know Amar'e got in. A couple of members of the WNBA got into it. Let's see. Why am I not finding it? But yeah, we'll find it eventually. Enshrinement class 2026 announced. Let's see. We got view the class of 2026. Joey Crawford, one of the longest tenured and most accomplished officials in NBA history. Mark Few, one of the most successful coaches in college basketball history. Few led Gonzaga to national championship appearances in 2017, 2021. Doc Rivers, we all know Doc Rivers. 1,180 wins in 27 seasons as NBA head coach. And Amar'e Stoudemire, All-Star 2005, 07, and 11. And 2003 NBA Rookie of the Year. Wow, wait a second. How? He won 2003 Rookie of the Year? I thought that was LeBron. Oh, okay. He won 2002, 2003. LeBron won 2003, 2004. I don't like. Baseball is better because it's just the same calendar year. You don't get confused. Anyway. Speaking of not being confused, the Minnesota Timberwolves will retire Kevin Garnett's number 21 jersey after they face another of his former clubs, the Boston Celtics, on February 28th. That's great. It will be the second jersey retirement for the 15-time All-Star after the Celtics did in 2022. So, yeah, I one of those, like, Kevin Garnett, one of the coolest players. Dirk is my favorite, but Garnett and seeing him face the Mavericks all those years was great. Big retirement news, though. Russell Westbrook, who we did beat in the 2011 Western Conference Finals, he retired. He announced it Wednesday, ending an 18-season NBA career at age 37. His final season was with the Sacramento Kings. Westbrook walks away with a ridiculous resume. 2017 NBA MVP, 9-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA, 2-time scoring champion, 3-time assist leader, NBA 75th anniversary team, and the big one, 209 career triple-doubles, the most in NBA history. He also finished 5th all-time in assists, 10,351, and 14th in points, 27,176. Wow. So, Hall of Fame resume. We just talked about the 2026 Hall of Fame. I don't know if there's like an eligibility period. Like I know baseball, I think is 5 years before you get inducted. Ooh, a Dr. Pepper Frosty. But we do got to talk about the WNBA because the WNBA is heating up. Okay, we got some power rankings. We like power rankings. This was the Minnesota Lynx, talking about Minnesota. They are the number one team, 27-7. Kaylee McBride hits a WNBA record 10 threes and 43-point outbursts for the Lynx. Really, 10 threes. I mean, very impressive, more than I can ever score, but I feel like 10 threes? Yes, it's 30 points, but 10 threes. I feel like Steph Curry's done that a lot. But not ever comparing men to women. This is a women's sport. Our aces, 22-11. They're number 2. The Indiana Fever with a great WNBA player, Caitlin Clark. They're number 3. The Golden State Valkyrie is 23-9. The Washington Mystics, 19-12. The Atlanta Dream with Angel Reese. Now, we're going to talk about Angel Reese on the show. We've never talked about Angel Reese on the show, and I've never wanted to pick on Angel Reese. But we're going to pick on her in the future. If she keeps making these me-bounds, I have to change our opinion. The New York Liberty, number 7, 2013. Dallas Wings, 1914. Portland Fire, somebody put out the fire, 13-9. And the Chicago Sky, 12-21. The Los Angeles Sparks, 12-19. Connecticut Sun, 8-23. Oh, there's more teams. Wow. Phoenix Mercury, 12-22. Toronto Tempo, I didn't even know Toronto had a basketball team, 10-22, and the Seattle Storm, 7-28. So yeah, I think we're gonna see Caitlin Clark get her first ring. But let's talk a little bit about the miscellaneous because we got 10 minutes. Breaking news, very sad breaking news, just reported yesterday. I gotta pronounce his name right because Babe told me I'm pronouncing it wrong. Hayden Pennetire passed away at the age of 36. If you don't know who Hayden Pennetire was, she was most known to me as being the NBC superhero and heroes, Claire Bennett. Save the cheerleader, save the world. She was in the Scream franchise as Kirby. She's on a bunch of Nashville, the TV show. She passed away yesterday. Died after cardiac arrest in an apartment. Now, this is from Wikipedia. I don't know if this is true. Peyton Terry died after cardiac arrest in an apartment in Greenville, South Carolina, at the age of 36. She was found unresponsive, and first responders pronounced her dead at the scene after resuscitation. Resuscitation. I've never seen that word spelled out. Efforts failed. Police said preliminary findings showed no sign of foul play, and an autopsy performed the following day by local coroners said no signs of trauma. But yeah, you know her. She's pretty blonde. She was in, I Love You, Beth Cooper, Scream 4, like we said, 5 and 6, television, mostly for heroes and others. She was married to the famous boxer Vladimir Klitschko. They have a daughter. Very sad news, man. 2026, we'll have our at the end of the year, Brat said that in memoriam, we're gonna have to obviously give her a shout out. But rest in peace to her. But something else I do want to talk about before we get to the main topic of the show. 2003, I keep repeating 2003, August 14th. If you lived on the East Coast, you went through it. The Northeast blackout of 2003 was a widespread power outage throughout the parts of northeastern and midwestern United States. I remember I was sleeping. It was the summer, obviously. My dad wakes me up. He's like, we're under attack, because he always, rightfully so in those days, thought, hey, something happened. We just went through 9/11 not 2 years prior. Now we're going through this blackout. 55 million people affected. Definitely hit, New York County. Not New York County. That's not a county. New York City, Suffolk, Nassau. We were living in Suffolk, but, I was told, But, we were just stuck inside. I don't know what happened or how it happened. Let's see. Causes, power grid management concepts, investigation efforts, findings, but computer failure, outages in the Cleveland, Akron area. Let's see. 1215, incorrect telemetry data renders the state estimator, a power flow monitoring tool operated by yada yada, inoperable. And then 202, the first of several transmission lines in Northeast Ohio fell. Let's see, when did it hit New York? Let's see, multiple transmission lines tripped out in Michigan and Ohio at 410. I just remembered northern New Jersey separates its power grid from New York and Philadelphia. Yeah, it was just like, a blackout. And it kind of had like a little party to it, But yeah, I just thought that was crazy. Just how it was just a huge blackout. Just boom, done. We're out. At the time, it was the world's second most widespread blackout in history. And just want to point that out. Just want to point out the blackout, because we had a blackout. And I just remember, sitting there with candles and my dad just going crazy. But speaking about something my dad used to go crazy about, anytime I wanted to watch the topic of the show, South Park. Yes, South Park still going after 29 seasons. Yes, debuted August 13th, 1997. That's why I'm talking about it, because it is still within the week. Created by Trey Parker, Matt Stone. Just Comedy Central. Since day one, Cartman, Eric, Kyle, Stan. Just those characters created in their mind is so awesome. Oh, wait. I think we just lost the South Park. So hold on. Let's go back to the South Park. But yeah, 1997, just a video for South Park. Since its debut, 338 episodes of South Park have been broadcast. It debuted with great success. Characters, we know Eric, Kenny, Stan, and Kyle. They all live in South Park, Colorado. They're just these elementary school kids. They're shenanigans. They're towns. They're just they also play off real world events. That's why South Park is always going to continue. As long as they want to continue, they're going to continue. Okay. I just want to talk about like the legacy, cultural. Oh my God, they killed Kenny every single episode. Kenny used to die. Oh my God, you killed Kenny, and it was very raunchy too. You got Chef here, played by Isaac Hayes, late great Isaac Hayes, who once he passed away, or he quit the show, and then they killed his character. But they hit, they're political. There's stuff against Trump. There's stuff against everybody. Nobody is safe from South Park. We're gonna talk. I just want to see like the number one. It did spawn off the video games. We're gonna talk more about this. I just really kind of didn't realize how big this was. It received numerous accolades, including 5 Primetime Emmy Awards. South Park Bigger, Larger, and Cunt in 1999. In 2013, TV Guide ranked South Park the 10th greatest TV cartoon of all time. The subject matter, though, It's TVMA. They can talk about anything, really. I want to see the best South Park episodes, the highest ranked. Let's do that. Let's end the show with the highest ranked South Park episodes, like we did last week against the most ranked high school movies. 32 best South Park episodes. I wish it would give me a little synopsis. Let's do scene rank. 20 best episodes ranked. Let's see. The Mexican Starring Frog of Southern Sri Lanka, Season 2, Episode 6. Britney's New Look, obviously a bash on Britney Spears, Season 12, Episode 2. The End of Obesity. That one doesn't have a title to it. There were many South Park specials released between 2020 and 2024. Oh, this is a post-COVID saga one. Okay. One of the most infamous ones, early first season, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. Let's see. Cartman makes a wish and a poop comes a row. Welcome to South Park. Tweak versus Craig, like these minor characters, Tweak, Craig, Timmy, they are also in the cultural South Park world. The Return of the Fellowship of the Ring of the Two Towers, that one is obviously a play on Lord of the Rings. Woodland Critter Christmas, oh, I remember this. Back in the day, they had those videos, those like critters and stuff. The Woodland Critters of Season 8, Episode 14. Wow. The Black Friday Trilogy, I don't remember that one too much. Raisins, Season 7, Episode 14. Stan takes his elementary school breakup far too seriously, but that's not the reason. It's Butters and his trip to Raisins, a parody of Hooters. I'm almost 40, I'm still laughing at this stuff. Pip, we all know Pip. Retelling of Charlie Dickens' Great Expectations. Let's see, what was the other one? Is that it? No, there needs to be more. 11. Oh, 12. Really? Come on, where's the next page? Hello? But how do you get the next one? See, this is why I don't like. Just have your whole list on one page. Do I have to press this button? Oh, whoa. But I guess that was a first 8, but I tried to do it. But before we go, let's talk about the man who created it, Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I think they met in college, came up with a little bit of a idea for this. I think my internet's shitting out. So, Matt Stone, Trey Parker, famous, phenomenal, hysterical. Go watch the 7 Days to Air. I think it's how they come up with these South Park episodes. I love them from Basketball. They did other movies like, my internet's shitting out. So we're going to get off now. But yes, South Park. We'll talk more about South Park later. I wish I could do more. Mr. Garrison. Drugs are bad, okay? And then just everything else. Trey Parker, yeah, I'm trying to. But we've been on the show for an hour. So let's do a quick recap. Because I wish I did more of the South Park, but we kind of went long, and I don't want to, an hour is enough. But we will be back on. We will be back on Friday. Okay? For episode 81. But let's talk about it. Zilla Fatu debuted at NXT. We're on SmackDown happened. The New Day are, of course, going to be coming to AEW. TNA Lockdown. Every match is inside a steel cage. UFC 330. Makhachev versus Garrett. Makhachev, longest win streak in UFC history. And Mackenzie Dern looked good in the fight. And outside the fight, defeated Jillian Robinson. And Dean Thomas as the corner man who said that he's going to retire fighters now. Or he's going to retire from, Bratwurst Award. Rest in peace, Rich Card Cologne. Field of Dreams is fun. I love that. I'm going to go watch the movie. I don't think I've ever seen the movie. If you build it, they will come. It's on the White Sox. Raiders, Fernando made his debut. Couple more games till the season. NBA schedule is out. Christmas Day looks amazing. Russell Westbrook. Next stop, Hall of Fame. WNBA. Let's go, Caitlin Clark. 2003 Blackout was fun. South Park eat your cheesy boost, and rest in peace, Hayden Pennetire. You know, this was the show. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Wait a second. Before I get off, I want to make an announcement that we have partnered with energy drink Dubby. Yes, Dubby Energy, your taste buds' favorite energy drink, is now our sponsorship with us. Still working out details. You know, they're like, we're looking for anybody, content creators, to join a brand. Hello, I'll join your brand. So, still talking about, we're gonna have a bunch of Dubby stuff. You're gonna see a bunch of Dubby stuff around here. So, big announcement, Dubby. So, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Let's get the subscribers up. And yeah, so this was the show. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of Brat. And we'll be back on episode 81. Yes, we're coming up to the 1 year anniversary of Brat Said That. So, love yourselves. Love each other. Love silly, you know. I love you. Or whatever, Jennifer Lopez. Alright guys, see you guys Friday for episode 81. Bye.